The court case hasn't really started yet. The appeal process is still. I mean, next week we only had another mentions, and hopefully the date of trial will be fixed by then. It will be. I expect it will be a long way, but I hope it's not going to be too long before we know the result of the appeal. And if anyone going to think about there will be a by-election soon, I don't think that's even a feasible idea, because our court process will have to go through at least another 2 rounds. Which, but okay, I can make a decision if I didn't win the high courts. I can decide not to appeal to the appeal courts, and the decision is mine. So whether there will be a by-election, the power of determine whether there's a by-election will be in me and Pakatan Rakyat, and my party will decide. I will choose the time which is most beneficial to us if we were to have a by-election. But I don't think in the foreseeable future we're going to see that. In terms of what we have contributed as a parliamentarian, there are 2 levels. One, as a collectively, how we have reshaped the whole Kuala Lumpur Wilayah Persekutuan politics, including the development. We have, because we have 10 members of parliament out of 11 in Kuala Lumpur, collectively we are able to have much more regular and much more frank and forwards discussion with the mayor of Kuala Lumpur, and they cannot, the Bandaraya Kuala Lumpur cannot deny totally our inputs. So and we have seen some improvement in terms of services, in terms of some form of openness to discuss with Member of Parliament. I mean, that we don't deny, and we also seen that now Bandaraya's Kuala Lumpur also trying to beef out their complaint procedures. They're trying to also to streamline some of their wastage and some part of improvement in efficiency. I mean, that as a collectively Pakatan Rakyat was able to push towards that direction. But not denying that the whole issues of Wilayah is still very political. We have been facing a lot of resistance. We face various obstacles, even to the simple fact that we want to organize functions. We don't get to use the facilities by public facilities by the city councils and things like that, and we don't have any government allocation to support our work. So these are all very tough. The pressure on us. Specifically in Batu, like many other places, the cities is undergoing transformation. Urban poor are left out in the trend of development. I think that's my main concern. Batu should develop, but it should not. That process should not, discriminate or left out the poorer segments of societies. And we also, I will constantly remind the government that to talk about poverty eradication is not just about rural poverty. The urban populations might be on paper looks as if like they enjoy higher income, but relatively their expenses and their urban lifestyles is quite burdensome to families with low income. and urban poverty as a phenomenon, there is very little attention to it. So I think that's my duty to constantly remind that we must be also looking into the issues about urban poverty. Barisan National Government sometimes cannot distinguish the government function from the party. So many of the programs that the government officials, ministers, and Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, come down to organize program on the ground. They only invite Barisan National's party, and they don't pay respect to the people's representative there. I was never invited. And in those functions, openly display UMNO flags. You know, not even Barisan National flag. Openly display UMNO flags. It's giving a signal that ministers are not performing the duty as the ministers, as the people's representative, but they come down to campaign. They come down as UMNO leaders. So at that in itself already marginalized other components party. For the last 2 years, is the systematic and marginalization of other component party within Barisan Nasional. Increasingly, Barisan Nasional just means UMNO. UMNO is the Barisan Nasional. The change of Gerakan chairmanship to UMNO in Batu just clearly send that signals that UMNO is dominant. Not only that, we see in Penang, they're demanding for the seats of the dominant seats as UMNO. Datuk Yaya, I believe, in many occasions, they said the same thing as me, and I believe UMNO Batu, at least UMNO Batu, will stand by the community to defend the tradition, what is it called, the traditional village. And I hope they will continue and not to be intimidated by the material enticement and the monetary rewards of developmental project. I am very thankful for the continuous supports. In fact, I have seen very encouraging signs from the voters and the communities that they have appreciated the work of my parliamentary office. It's not just me, but my whole team of people who have been working very hard to provide services to the people and to also to actively translating their grievances into parliament or into all the relevant authorities so that it can resolve. And I also believe that the people in Batu want to see change in the political system. They want to see their children's futures are secure with better prospect, peaceful and much more prosperous societies. And they also want to see the future of Malaysia to be much more equitable. So that's why I'm quite confident that now we can prove with work records as well as the national struggle, and I believe the people of Batu will continue to give support to Parti Keadilan Rakyat as well as our coalitions, the Pakatan Rakyat.